where we bring the blockchain to the block. Real strategy, no fluff. Today, we'll get into something mistakes holding you back and how we fix them. And as always, this is not financial advice. Mistake 1, buying without a plan. First question, why is buying on hype so problematic?
Yeah, so it's problematic because buying on hype, it leads to emotional investing. So not aligned with an actual strategy. And when you're not aligned with a strategy, you buy on hype because it's emotional. And when the cycle has a downturn, you then sell. And so you sell at a loss and then you buy once again, once the hype is back higher than what you already had, versus just sticking to a strategy and identifying those coins that you see and have conviction in. You're convinced that they will be good in this bull run. And if that's the case, when the prices are lower, you would DCA, dollar cost averaging, meaning you would go ahead and buy even when it's low and hold when the hype is there and be ready to look at those indicators when it's time to sell. So that's why buying on hype is problematic, because all your investments are just emotional investments and not based on a strategy.
So second question, what should new investors do instead?
So I kind of alluded to that, went into it a little bit. So new investors, what you should do instead is have a clear strategy, have a thesis, if you will. Why this coin? Why am I convinced that this coin is a good coin to be into as a blue chip or as my main coin? And for example, what problem does it solve? That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to 100x, but it does mean that it's a solid coin to base 60 or 70% of your portfolio into, because it's stable for you. It's not like a meme coin, which may be more susceptible to higher volatility. So basically, decide in advance your entry price, your target exit, and what you expect to hold. Like if you're going to ride it into the next, through the bear cycle into the next bull cycle. So this is what investors should do instead and not make these mistakes.
Mistake number 2, no exit strategy. So why do so many freeze up when it's time to sell?
Oh yeah, there's multitude of answers for that. But fear of missing a bigger move. Like we spoke about it in the last episode. You've already reached that 10x. That was the target price, and you were good with it before the bull cycle and all the craziness happened. But you're thinking in your mind now, it could do another 10x. So I can have, could be 100x with this coin now, or what have you. So, and also it's a fear or regret of selling too soon. So let's say it hits your 10x multiplier, but then you don't sell because you don't want to sell out. And then there'll be a fear or phobia, like, oh, I sold too soon. If I would have hold, if. And so the reason people freeze up, there's greed, there's FOMO, fear of missing out, and this clouds rational decision making. And that's why people freeze up, and you need to have a plan, whatever it is, write it down, and then revise it as you receive more information so you don't freeze up.
Question 4, how do you personally approach exits?
Yeah, so my personal approach is tiered or layered exits based off the target multipliers or where I think a coin will go. So some people will do a 20% exit as they reach a certain level towards their target price. I look at the 20 or the 25% layered exit method. Also, my approach is to track sentiment. So once again, when we spoke about this before, when greed is high and everyone's talking about crypto and Bitcoin is the talk of the town, now it is time to go ahead and start layering out and selling. So those are my personal approach to exits. So we have other indicators that we talk about in For the Culture Crypto as well, but the main ones would be the sentiment tracking.
Mistake number 3, all in on one coin. Why is focusing your money on one coin risky?
Yeah, so going all in on one, why is that risky? So it increases vulnerability to a single project failure. So we all don't know 100% if a coin will fail or rug pull. So going in or all in on one coin could lead to missing out on other coins that could help stabilize your portfolio. So meaning you would miss other market opportunities. Now you can have your portfolio be heavily involved in a coin, for example, a good layer 1 coin. If it's a good one, 60, 70, 80%, and then the other 20% in other coins versus 100% all in on one coin. So that's why it's risky. If you don't do your research and your due diligence ahead of time, you could be putting all your eggs in the wrong basket.
What's your recommended range for diversification?
Yeah. So recommended diversification strategy. So the ideal range would be 10 to 15 coins. You in the past, you would hear people talk about 50, 60, 70 coins, and that's just, you can't manage that. Imagine all the hype that goes into a bull cycle, especially at the height of the bull cycle, and you have 50 coins you're trying to manage and exit out properly. There's really no way you can do that and think that or feel that you've really done a good job to yourself and your portfolio. So that's why I say about 10 to 15 coins, do your research and find those 10 to 15 that you can manage and that are good plays. And, you have conviction, you're very convinced that these 10 to 15 coins will do great. So one or two stable large cap coins, and that will be the basis of your portfolio, as well as 5 to 7 mid caps. And then your smaller caps, home run plays, Hail Mary plays, 3 to 5 of those, higher risk, the higher upside, smaller, super small cap plays. We're talking about your, single digit millions as far as market cap. And then also a strategy would be to spread your money across different chains, whether it be Ethereum, Base Chain, or Solana. So with that, I just want to just take a kind of a break and just want to say to everyone, if this episode is hitting home, please hit subscribe, leave us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Also head to fortheculturecrypto.com. That is culturecrypto.com. We have a free starter kit. Download that. Also check the description and you'll see our Discord link. Our community is here to help answer questions. And so share digital goods as well. So we're out here and we're trying to help you guys to make it through this bull cycle on into the bear market.
All right. Segment 4. Holding too long. Why do think they need to hold forever?
Why do people think they need to hold forever? So hold on. Hold for life. Hold for life, right? The hodl. Yeah, a lot of people think that they should hold for life because they have diamond hands, right? This is another terminology that you will hear. Instead of paper hands, meaning those people that will sell when certain information isn't favorable to a coin. Emotional, once again, we talk about emotional investors. But HODL investors can be emotional too. Regardless of what they see, regardless of the market cycle that they're in, they just want to hold the coin because they're just in it so much that it becomes them versus, we're in it to make money and to better ourselves from selling out when the time is right at the proper moment. The holding past peak means missing out on profit taking. So I've been speaking about this. Q4 of the bull cycle will be the peak. It's been the peak in the past. So holding past that means you're round tripping your bags to the next 4-year cycle. And that's what you don't want to do because you're going to be regretting it at the end.
All right, going to question 8. How do you balance holding long term versus taking profit?
Yeah, so it goes back to that strategy at the beginning that we talked about in the previous question. So what is your goal? Do you believe that this coin would do a 10x or a 100x? We all want the 100x, but you got to be, real with yourself and understand okay, this coin can probably only do a 10x because it's a mid market cap. It's not a lower market cap or higher risk play. So 100x may be not in the future for that coin. Unless you hold for multiple cycles. If you prepare for that, then that makes sense. Then that's good. So you want to monitor on-chain cycle indicators, set profit checkpoints. So always check back, especially as the bull market starts to reach its peak. Am I eating it? Looking at your exit strategy. Do I need to change anything? Which leads to being flexible. Sometimes you can roll your profits from one coin into another play, not just to hold for the long term. So there's different ways to go about it, and we work with you at For the Culture Crypto.
Mistake number 5: ignore and educate. Why do people skip learning and chase hype?
Yes. I mean, I think we all see, especially when we come in new, we hear the guy that the wallet that was a millionaire 2 weeks into Pepe. We hear all these things. So hype is easier and faster than understanding the fundamentals. Being up late at night is something that, and studying is something that's not glamorous, but it's what's needed. The hype is easy, but the fundamentals are hard. So people are often driven by pressure, peer pressure, join the party. Hey, I just bought this coin and it did a 2 or 3x, and I think it's going to do another 15x. And so people just kind of join in on the hype versus learning. And so that will lead to you round tripping your bags because you choose all these coins, and let's say you choose the right coins, but if you don't know when to exit, you're just going to round trip your bag. And that goes back to the hodl, right? So that's why people skip the learning steps, because it's easy. It's emotional.
What learning steps do you recommend to do this?
So grab the free PDF workbook from the website. That'll get you started. Join the Discord to look for our live Q&A and shared learning on our Discord, and even book a consult for personalized guidance, because my goal is to get everyone out of this bull cycle with making gains, positive gains, and being prepared in that bear market to go into the next bull cycle. So that's what I recommend. Definitely contact us and we'll set you on the right track.
Segment 6, close and act. What should listeners do right now to course correct?
Yeah, so we've all made mistakes. I think the first thing that we need to do is just really recognize that we did make the mistakes, and course correct will be easy. Use the workbook that we have, define your mistakes. Once again, join our Discord, get into the community, ask questions. There are no dumb questions, just ask. And I still go back again, book a consult, just to align your steps with your goals. And we're there to do that for you. So understanding that mistakes will be made, I'm trying to reduce those mistakes for everyone. And that's what we're here for.
What parting advice do you want everyone to remember?
So final message, parting advice, recognizing mistakes, as I stated before in the previous question, that's your first step to fixing them. So we all make mistakes, recognizing it. And now what do you do after that? That's what really defines what you are and the person you are. When you're knocked down, do you get back up? All right, hey, I made some mistakes, but it's still never too late for me to correct it, especially in this bull cycle. We're not at the height yet. And actually, during the recording of this video, the market took a downturn. So, once again, there may be a few more months of this downturn up and down before we hit, who knows what Bitcoin will go to, 120, 150. Some people even saying 200,000 for one Bitcoin during the height of this bull cycle. So, and we're talking about Q4 of this year. So with that being said, use the resources that we've built to move forward smarter. So don't let the mistakes define you. Get up, get smarter, and you'll be good to go.
Episode 5, man. I think that was a good one as well.
Yeah, man. I think it was good. I just want to leave people with that. Like, don't hold too long. Don't do that. Definitely get educated by somebody, whether it's coming to us. I'll prefer you come to us, but do your research. Never skip learning because you think it's too hard and you heard your friend talk about it, but he's never talked about it before, and then all of a sudden he's talking about it, which probably means he's going to be the person, and you will too. You guys will be the people that I'm going to be selling to because you're getting in too late. So you guys are going to be my exit strategy. So, I'm just going to tell you how it is. So that's what that means. So if it comes Q4 and you guys are now getting into it because your friend said something about it, you're probably buying something that I'm selling. So if you don't want to be that guy, you don't want to buy what I'm selling. So join the Discord. Let us educate you so you're not that guy. And the answer may be, hey, you're in too late. It's already November and it's too late. So just hold off until, February of 2026 when everything goes back down in the bear market and get in then. It may not be the answer you want, but it's the answer you need. So yeah, man, I think this was a good episode. We still trying to educate the masses. What you think, D? Yeah, definitely. And D's doing a good job with the IG. I mean, we over 1,000 people, on us with IG, man. So we getting the message out there. We're putting our stuff out there on the different socials. So definitely check us out. At some point, we're gonna get a longer form YouTube video out there to you guys as well. So yeah, man, I think this was good. I think we can call it on this one. Episode 5, the mistakes that are keeping you broke. Don't make them.